Alright, hi everyone, it's MacK Leslie, and I'm just going to jump right to it. So in my last video, I kind of gave you guys a challenge slash homework, whatever, and I wanted you guys to write down 3 things that you didn't like about yourself, and then write 1 line of the negative and leave a big space and write down the positives. And I was not prepared because I just wanted to get some things off my chest. But I was thinking about it, and I wanted to do it for you guys in case, I don't know, it just makes sense for me to do it. So this is my paper, so I just wrote down things that I like about myself and 1 line of the negative, and I wrote down a lot of positives, so I just thought that I would share that with you. So in the last video, I mentioned my arms. And the next thing that I struggle with is my legs, and I wrote down, I have cellulite, they're ugly, and I don't want to wear shorts. So obviously that is super negative, and so let's just change our way of thinking, and here are some positives. My legs allow me to hike and see beautiful scenery. They allow me to board planes and see different countries and experience different cultures. They allow me to dance. I have danced all my life, and that is one of my outlets. It's like therapy for me, but I also mean like parties and stuff. They allow us to walk down the aisle for like weddings and graduations and anything that monuments just growing in life. And this one is also for me. I wrote down Superman. So I have like nieces and nephews and small cousins that like when you lay on your back and you put your legs up and they're on your legs, it's just a really cute moment because they're smiling and you're laughing. So that's another reason why I'm grateful for my legs. And then another thing that I'm self-conscious about is acne, so my skin. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the scientific reasons as to why skin is important. I'm just going to give you some of the positives that I choose to flip it. So one thing that I struggle with is I'm super sensitive to gluten, which is unfortunate because a lot of good things have gluten in it, but whatever. So there's definitely ways to help. So for me, I don't eat gluten. Well, I try my hardest not to eat gluten, and that helps my skin. But I do have some other ways that I try to fight breakouts and how I try to keep my skin clear. So if you guys want a video of that, you can kind of mention that, and I will put out some tips. Number 2, we just need to realize that it is so natural. Everyone in the world struggles with acne or has acne at some point in their lives. So instead of just focusing on the acne, I just encourage you guys to focus on what you love. If you're having a breakout and you've done all that you can do, that's just all you can do. So let's focus on what you love about yourself. So if I'm having a breakout, let's just focus on what I love. So the things that I wrote down are my teeth. I take really good care of my teeth, and that's one thing that I'm proud of. I like my nose, and I like the freckles on my nose. So I choose to not see the acne, and it's a lot easier said than done, but I'm just going to focus on the things that I like about myself. And the third one is stretch marks. Oh, stretch marks. So the negative that I wrote about that is they're ugly, and when I was younger, I used to always want to wear big clothes. And I just didn't understand it. I've had stretch marks all my life. I can't remember a time where I didn't have stretch marks. So I don't know. Instead, let's just turn it into a positive. So I choose to see it as it represents my childhood and my teens and the woman that I'm growing into. And I just think that's super cool. That's just this thing called life, is us just growing and having memories and having all these experiences. And I'm not done growing. And I'm super excited to see what my body does in the future when I'm in my late 20s and 30s and 40s, what my body's going to look like. And, you know, so the last one I wrote is for my mamas out there. I have not had a baby. I have not had a baby yet, but I am so excited for that part of my life because that is just like the most amazing thing that women can do, or pretty much anyone. That's just an amazing thing. All right, let's just put it out there. But I know when you do get pregnant, you get stretch marks. And there's a lot of women that are really good at accepting that, and they're really good at empowering other women, but there's also some women, and I've talked to my friends that have had babies, that they struggle with stretch marks. But I just want to remind people who have had babies, or just anyone that has stretch marks in general, that you are amazing and you did such an amazing thing. Women, we are so powerful, and the fact that we can carry humans in us is just insane. So stretch marks are just a symbol of this amazing and beautiful thing that you went through. And final, I just wanted to share this. So this is my finger. I broke it when I was in 5th grade, and I just wanted to share this with you because I can't really turn that into something positive. It's just there's just some things in life that you just gotta laugh at, and you just gotta accept it. So I guess that it's just a funny memory. I was just balling it up in 8th grade, and I broke it. So there's that. So there's my 3 things that I just wanted to share with you guys. But what I wanted this video to be about is, I mentioned it in my last video that I would share about how I got through the things that I used to be self-conscious about and how I got through them. And when I was writing down my notes and when I was thinking about it, like, this just turned into a whole, like, a way broader topic than just the things I used to be self-conscious about. So I'm just going to mention some of the things that I used to not like about myself. Acne, crooked teeth, braces, fitting in, puberty, teenage hormones, not having the perfect body. But everyone in high school goes through that. Those are just like the natural things you go through in high school. And I was thinking about how I got through it, because me personally, how I choose to live my life, I don't look back. I don't like to look back. There's no reason to look back, so I don't look back. So when I did look back today to make this video, I was like, how did I get through that? Like, how did I come to be the person that I am today? And here's what I came up with, I guess. So all of that just goes away with time. Like, you have to go through puberty, you have to like deal with the hormones, you have to like go through the acne, and you have to grow up. All of that stuff really just kind of grows away with time. The only thing that I changed on that list was I wanted to have a better body, so I started working out more, and I will make specific videos on that. But this is not what I want to make that video about. So I just wanted to talk about it in a different way. So like I said, I am from a small town in Idaho, and especially when you're from a small town, you are so molded by your environment, your peers, your teachers, and your choices are just kind of made for you, because you're put into sports, you're put into teams, you're put into classes, and you just kind of go with the flow because that's just all you know, and you're not old enough to, I don't know, you just don't know yourself well enough to be like, I don't want to do this, or this isn't cool, whatever. So you're so molded about things that you can't control, because that's just where you grew up, and that's how you grew up. And also, coming from a small town, it was my whole world. That's all I saw was just Idaho. And so my big problems, which were small, but they seemed so big because I didn't know who I was, and so I just let people influence me. I let people get under my skin because I wasn't confident enough to be like, you don't matter, or just like different scenarios. So how I got over that is, my best advice is to get out. And I'm just going to tell a little story about myself, and then I'll kind of explain it. So luckily, I was lucky enough, I'm just going to say lucky a lot, whatever. I was fortunate enough that my parents had moved to St. George after I graduated, so I just went along with them. So I was able to just, straight out of high school, I was able to get out. But with that, I took a kickboxing class, and me and my twin went to a bunch of activities for younger kids, younger adults, whatever. And after I had been here for a few months, I had the bright idea to move to Los Angeles and try to be an actress. So the reason why I say get out is because when especially when I moved to Los Angeles, and anyone that went to college or has gotten out can relate to this, you're by yourself and you have to figure out who you are really quick or you're not going to survive. You're going to collapse into yourself and just become this sad ball of sadness. So I had to realize my strengths and I had to become strong and I had to figure out who I really was in order to make it through. And I'm not saying that you need to move. That was just my kind of little story, because some people just aren't able to move, whatever. But I do encourage you to move, because I just think that everyone should experience so much, especially while you're young. Just move, be free, do whatever. But you don't have to move, because like I said, not everyone can. So if you can't, I just encourage you to take a trip. It doesn't have to be far, it doesn't have to be to a different country. It can be just like an hour or two away, but something that is different from what you are constantly around. And just really take some time by yourself. Just really think, make lists about what you want your career to be, what your hobbies are, what you're really passionate about, and who you really want to be in the future. Just take however long you need and be selfish for a little bit, and don't let anyone influence you for your alone time. Don't let relationships, don't let parents, don't let friendships influence you. Just for a little bit, just focus on exactly what you want. And obviously people who love you and people who support you, you can get their input later and you can talk about it, but for a second, just be completely honest about what you want in your life. And the reason why this is important is because if you stay in the same environment that you came from, your judgment can get super cloudy, and it's hard to see if you're in a bad situation or, if you're making wrong decisions. So it's so good to get fresh eyes. And maybe you're in a bad situation and all you needed was a breather, and then you come back and it's all good again. Or maybe if you get out of it and you see it with fresh eyes, maybe you do realize this isn't good for me and I deserve better, or just whatever the situation is. But it's so good to have fresh eyes so you can realize that this is something that I really want, or I need to get out and I need to do what I want to do. And also, most people that you grow up with won't allow you to change. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm not saying that everyone's out to get you and everyone wants to tear you down. But especially if you've known someone your whole life, and not like family or whatever, but just your peers and friends that you're around, if they've known you your whole life, it's just hard to kind of change, because they're always going to see you as that specific person, whether it's a good or bad thing. I'm not saying, like I said, they want to hurt you, but it's just hard because they're going to be like, what? This isn't you? So just get around new people sometimes that have your same passions, or some of the stuff that you're finding out about yourself. It's good to have people who think like you. And when you get out, you find things out about yourself that you never even knew was possible, and you'll fall in love with. Like, example, when I was in high school, I like I said, my whole world was Idaho, and I couldn't see past that. So I just assumed that I was going to be a country girl and then I'd get married super young, whatever. But now that I have the experiences that I have, I can't even fathom doing that. And I'm not saying that staying in a small town's bad, because there are some people that are meant to do that, and that's what makes them happy. And that's great. That's what I'm encouraging, is doing exactly what you love. But for me, if I would have never gotten out and experienced stuff on my own and gotten to know myself, if I would have stayed there down the road, it would have been bad. I just wouldn't have been happy, and it just would have been not a good situation. So, and it's like, I have come to know things about myself that I never even imagined that I like, I don't know, it's just insane. So it's just cool when you start to realize different passions that you have, different hobbies, different careers that back in the day you were like, I don't want to do that, but now you're like, that would be so cool. So I just think it's cool to kind of grow and get to know yourself on your own without having the influences of people that you have grown up with. And also, it's great to get out because your big problems don't even matter anymore. So, for another example, some of the things in high school, I'm still very dramatic, but especially in high school, I was incredibly dramatic. So I just remember there were times where I would like cry in my bed, I would cry in my car, just like those crazy teenage experiences, whatever. Just things that absolutely like broke my heart and destroyed me at times. I don't even remember I don't even remember the names of people that were involved now. So it's cool to get out, and obviously I graduated in 2015, so it's been a few years. But it's cool because I just remember sometimes being so down, but now I don't even remember the people involved, and I have to really think. I was like, what even happened? And that's just kind of cool, you know? Another reason why it's good to, and how I got over my things, is I have come to realize strengths that actually matter, and it makes me feel powerful. So the things that I used to be self-conscious about didn't matter, like my looks and whatever. I've actually found strengths about myself that are internal, and that's where my confidence comes from, and that's how I've gotten over other stuff, because like looks and your body and all that, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's inside me and what I have to give to this world, and I just feel confident and powerful now. So this last one, not everyone can relate to this because I don't know, like I said, I'm just kind of a little crazy, but I loved the idea, and this is part of the reason why I moved to Los Angeles. I totally wanted to reinvent myself. I literally cut my hair and changed my name because I just wanted to be such a different person, and I wanted to start fresh and just like build a whole new Mackenzie. I went by Lauren. That's my middle name, but I went by Lauren. I wanted to build Lauren into exactly who I fantasized and dreamed about. And that's exactly what you can do. If you just kind of step back and kind of change your ways a little bit, you can be exactly who you want to be in your wildest dreams. No one can stop you. There's no one telling you what to do or who to be. You can do whatever you want to be, and you can be whoever you want to be. So it's just crazy to think that all the things I used to be self-conscious about were so self-involved, and they revolved around what other people thought. But now that I am confident, and now that I've had experiences and I've been by myself and I know what I want in life, they don't matter at all. So when you get out of your comfort bubble and you take chances on yourself and completely focus on yourself, confidence almost just comes naturally. And when you realize what makes you happy, and when you figure out that as long as you're happy, nothing else matters. And that's pretty much my secret. As long as you're happy and as long as you know exactly what you want, I'm going to take that back. Because I don't know exactly what I want, and I'm still growing, and I'm still figuring out things that are still inside me that I need to get to know, and I'm still working on self-confidence, but I have come a long way, and that's just the tip that I've learned along the way, that as long as I'm happy, nothing else matters, and I'm not going to let anyone take that away from me or bring me down. So when I really think hard and get down to the core of how I got over the things that I used to be self-conscious about, I came to the conclusion of it really came down to me just getting out and me getting to know myself and realizing that I am more than my looks, and that I'm powerful, and that I'm beautiful, and all these things. And I really just got to know myself and love myself. And it's a daily thing. I still have to take time and really think to myself and be selfish for a little bit, because you have to be happy in order to make others happy and live a happy life. It all starts with you. So that is kind of my tip on how I became who I am today, and I can't wait to see where I am in the future if I keep going and if I keep turning things into a positive light like this. So that's all for today, and I will have more later, so peace out.